Hey guys, welcome to our continuation on our set review. I'm Archie Punnett with me, I've got El Prez, Tim Tom Terry, etc. etc. You're probably watching this right after whatever. What order are we
Yellow.
even going in?
We did
Yellow into
green.
blue.
No, we did green, yellow, blue, and then red's next.
Well, sure.
Okay, so we're going to red now because orders don't matter.
No, it's blue right now.
No, you're blue right now.
Points are made up and the order don't matter. So we're going to blue now. We're doing blue.
Yeah, we haven't done blue.
Yes.
Blue.
I mean,
Blue.
that's what
Okay,
Teru
so we're
wants to
going
do, and
backwards,
I'm,
are we?
I'm
Sure.
Yes, we've gone in reverse order, and I'm deferring to Teru.
Okay, we're going backwards, and as
Uh,
far as I can tell, there's not actually much blue in this set, so
Yeah. Blue
That's
is
cool.
pretty small, but I
15
want to do
shards.
blue first for some context-based stuff going into red, because blue into red
seems good.
means I have
Alright.
to double up on explanations less.
So we're continuing our agreement where you have to say all the names because I'm not pronouncing them.
Ao no Isen Meppa Heart Subasa. If you have two or more other music characters, this character gains 1500 power and the following ability. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may send that character to memory. When this is placed from hand to stage via the effect of auto abilities of your ultimate comet technique Kanade to the stage, you may put the top card of your clock in the waiting. Pay one, discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may pay cost. If so, deal one damage to your opponent. Damage cancel can occur. It is a 9k base power.
So it'll get up to 10-5 optional memory kick healer. That's pretty decent base floor, and then also
Yeah.
burns. That seems very reasonable. Everything about this is reasonable.
it's also
Uh,
Tsubasa in you.
It's a very good card.
Yeah.
It's Subasa's second healer, and I think that
Third,
matters.
technically.
Third? I don't
First
count
set,
the event.
I do.
The first set Amino Habakiri only works with the first set Tsubasa, though.
Agreed, but I still count it.
Sure, but you're most likely building around the second, or
Yeah,
not second,
that
the
is-
third
The
Amino
GX one.
Habakiri.
Yeah.
The
That
GX.
much is true. I agree with that.
This is Tsubasa's best like standalone healer option, I think.
Yeah.
You can run this in just about any like variant of Tsubasa or Zweiwing.
I mean, you could run this in like any Symphogear deck.
Oh yeah, because none of the good stuff is name restricted, right?
Yeah, so it's a little above spec, assuming that like a proper power for a level 3 is like 10k base. So memory kick is super good against certain decks at least. First of which coming to mind is like Vivid Strike, I guess. If you can get this, because you can get this at level 2 to challenge their Fukas, potentially a memory kick the Fukas. And then burning on both turns is also pretty good.
Yeah, this seems like
yeah.
it.
And the burn effect isn't really like tied to any condition. It's just there.
Yeah, and I just looked at what the card is paired with. That's the whole package is pretty reasonable.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's reasonable on paper. It in reality it tends to kind of you're kind of low on resources against
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
this, which is
Yeah.
kind of frustrating. Otherwise, this is a very reasonable card to play on its lonesome. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty decent enough card.
I don't think.
I
we-
think this card is pretty good with the Amino Habakiri event stuff. Not
So
necessarily the other way to early play
yeah,
this.
I think this card is totally fine if you just want to play it even on its own, and there are other ways to early play it besides using the combo, which is fine.
So does the name, like when it mentions heart, is that like an element? Can she talk to animals?
Oh.
No, I think from the I think the
Oh.
format of this how the names are. I think how it says heart, that might be like a version of the card from the mobile game. I don't know.
I would give it
No,
a-
that's what I'm assuming. I'm just making a bad
Yeah,
joke.
I'm
yeah,
leaving
I
on
know.
good minus.
Oh, this card is like
Good minus?
reasonably solid.
This card is good, and like contextual wise for Symphogear at least. This is the
I think
first
it's
set
good.
that offers reasonable non-climax combo finisher slots.
Sure.
Before, the only thing you really had that was like a finisher that didn't have a climax combo was an on-play reveal top burn 1 Maria
Oh,
and
yeah. I remember
the
that.
G Hibiki, which was a on play cancel burn. So this you will get more like you'll get more mileage out of this over like 2 turns than those cards, and it's a
Maybe
little
this
less.
is the only. This is the only healing. No, this is the only healing non-climax finisher
Yeah,
in like
that
all
too.
of the sets, I think. So
So with that added context, that could be a tribute to Symphogear's weakness or this card's strength. Like either way, I would give this card just good.
I think I'm going to go with good minus simply because I haven't played it enough to really comment. But like just being a if you've got any support at all, then this is like probably around a 12k deal damage on both turns, which is really good in my opinion.
Yeah, it's totally
And
reasonable.
yeah.
Well,
So
it'll be
that's
25.
why I'm.
I feel like you're still inclined to play the 2 in frontal plus 2k, right?
or
I mean,
some assist that is
there
bigger.
there's a specific Tsubasa level assist I like playing. One
Sure.
of the weaknesses with the Tsubasa like centric deck or Tsubasa Kanade deck is a lot of the supporting pieces in that deck are more name restricted. So you don't have as easy access to the Shirabe 2k to front.
Okay. And it makes sense why you would want to play the 2 in level assist anyways if you're playing the change events.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's a very important part of the level assist. But in like a good stuff deck where you are not as hampered by name stuff, then yeah, you could play 2k assist with this.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah. Let's move on then. Could they really
Ame
have
no
not?
Habakiri Tsubasa.
But could they really not have chosen a better name for this?
00-2500. Yeah, as an aside, the change event is called Ame no Habakiri. So
Yeah.
I hope I've never confused someone when talking about this card when I just call it Ame no Habakiri, because that's the card's name, but whatever. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may reveal up to 3 cards from the top of your library. If you reveal 1 or more cards this way, choose up to 1 character among them with either Tsubasa or Kanade in name and put it into your hand. Put the rest in waiting room and discard a card from your hand to the waiting room.
This seems pretty good.
This card is amazing.
Yeah.
This is why you play Symphogear at
3/4
this
of an
point in
Azusa is
time,
still
right?
3/4 of an Azusa, and the effect doesn't require you to discard first, so it gives you more information when you're making that discard option too.
Yeah, seems good.
This seems good.
Look, this
as
is
an
very
aside-
restrictive.
As an aside about this card, when was the last time they printed just an good old fashioned Azusa? Not like a
Oh, some
bond to an
Matsu?
event, but like yeah, okay. Really
Uh,
Matsu? I'm trying to think. Like
No,
the first
rewrite,
resay.
rewrite
No,
anime.
Wait.
Oh, rewrite anime.
Wait.
Oh no, Chain.
Oh, yeah.
Chain was after. Chain was after.
Chain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be Chain Chronicle, right?
Goodness. Yeah. This is something I feel like
Yeah, it's chain.
they've been introducing, like the Rize effect. It's like kind of been phasing out Azusa Akatsuki effects.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's I don't know if you call it a trap, but it says that you can reveal either Tsubasa or Kanade, and that puts pressure on playing those two, right? But I know that you've been playing with just Tsubasa, and well, you've got one Kanade, but that's like a Tsubasa centric card anyway. And how's that been working out for you?
oh, what do you mean? Is your question like how is the deck when I'm restricting myself to mostly Tsubasa cards, or?
Yes, pretty much. Like,
Uh,
are you taking a hit by not playing the quote unquote built to
So
what
you
was
mean
that?
like how is my deck without Kanade? Is that your question?
Yes, more or less, because they're trying to push this Y-wing thing, the Tsubasa Kanade pairing.
Yeah.
But that might not be the way to play it based on how the level 2 game plays out, pretty much.
I'd be more open to go into it on the 3/2 because that is the card the 3/2 Kanade because that's the card I had the most issues with while playing the deck. But I
Seems
think
reasonable.
the way I ended up making the deck and developing the deck is I just really tried to streamline everything. So my deck right now is like a bunch of 3 and 4-ofs, except for a couple like 1-ofs that are kind of like it's like one Ghost Punch, one level 1 punch, and then a bunch of 3 and 4-ofs of cards that I think are central to the strategy.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Because I ended up building the deck more towards the. Well, I ended up building the deck to utilize the change event instead of trying to use the Kanade to double early play. And I even also tried the deck with the Kanade double early play and a change event package, but it just ended up that it usually felt better to just use change events than to use the Kanade combo.
The change event costs you less cards in hand, so.
Yeah, there's a pay bond to the change event as well, so it's really easy to not lose that many cards.
Notably, this is the early play condition to the Kanade, so.
Yeah, which is something I really dislike about the Kanade, because I usually just want to play this card. I don't want to have to feel like I need to sit on this card.
It makes this card a lot worse if you have to sit on it.
Yeah, because a big way to get card advantage in this like Zweiwing build, like regardless of how you built the deck, there is a 1-0. Your 1-0 plussing combo is a clock bond. So some games you just high roll and you'll like mill the 1-0 with this, and then you add a clock bond to hand, then you clock bond it back, or you just like discard 1-0s at the start of game, hoping to draw clock bonds. Like limiting the number of opportunities you have to do that really hurts the deck, I think.
I mean, yeah, this is just an effect you want to use in most decks in a lot of game states, and like having to make the decision between using this or playing your early play is like it's not a decision I want to make. That's not a decision I want to make. I think it just makes the deck worse when you have to choose between this or that.
Yeah, especially when there is another like early play engine you could be playing that all in all I liked better. But I could talk more about that during the 3-2 because that's where most of my issues land on.
Alright.
So I've sidetracked us long enough. Let's move on to the next one. This is like a normal name, but you want to read the cards, so you may read the cards.
Relaxing Date, Shirabe and Elf 9. Is a 0/0 2500. Discard a music character card from your hand to the waiting room. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If so, search your library for up to 1 Ignite module, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. Before anything, this card has Alchemy trait, but none of the Ignite modules work with Alchemy trait cards.
It's because it has Elf 9 on it, right?
Yeah, but I think it's really funny. I think it's funny that you can't even try to slot in some weird Ignite module engine into your Alchemy deck if you wanted to.
It's not actually as if Alchemy is hurting for cards, though.
No.
Yeah, that's true. But this was like I had an interest, like I kind of like half brewed a deck. Like I helped someone build an Alchemy deck, and they're like, "This card is cool," so we just put in Ignite modules, and we didn't read the Ignite modules till later. So.
Nice.
Because like Red Ignite module would probably be pretty decent in Alchemy because they already play like a Salvage too. Yeah. So I like this card a lot for Ignite module based decks.
I mean, it's
simply
being restricted to ditching music characters though.
That's definitely a weakness.
But how many non-music characters?
It's not that bad if you're searching the red one because the red one will just ditch. You can just ditch a climax for that, but
yeah. But I definitely like the option to find your Ignite modules without having to set up a salvage and play the pay 1 bond.
Yeah.
Because it's less stock intensive and it's just less setup, especially if you want to like you're level 2, you want to get your red module and you just refresh and it's not in waiting room, something like that.
I'm thinking the Night module deck is probably not where you want to be.
No, maybe. I mean, it's
like I've messed around with it. It's like Ignite module, an Ignite module Chris deck that isn't a standby Chris deck, and it's decent, but there's definitely better stuff to be playing if you want to play like the best deck in Symphogear.
Yeah.
I think Ignite module, the red one, is good enough standalone. Like you don't need to have anything that interacts with it. But
sure, but I don't know if you play this as a package unless you're playing like a more dedicated Ignite module deck.
Oh yeah, definitely. This doesn't go in. Not at all.
Yeah, so I'm personally partial to probably giving it the niche rating for that. I feel like it's one of those cards that, like, unless you're dedicated to needing to cast Ignite module like you need to do for those cards, you probably just don't need it.
Even then, I think a number of times you're fine with just the Salvager because you just need one Ignite module. It's not like Nisekoi where you need multiple pendants for the good effects.
So I think Niche is a fair rating to get this card.
Yeah, but this is a blue splash because Ignite module decks are more good stuff anyway. So this could be like blue splash for the Tsubasa healer. That's
Isn't
neat.
the stock bond blue too though?
Yes.
Yes, it is. From
I'm
the
trying to
last-
give this card more credit. I was so excited when this was spoiled, and then it wasn't that good when I played it. Also, the card is really gay art, so
I mean, a lot of the card.
yeah. This card is really gay art.
Speaking of
This
gay
card is
art.
beautiful. Place to
You're
rest
naked.
wings. Kanade and Tsubasa is a 1/0/2K power level 1. Now, why would you play a 1/0/2K power level 1? That sounds ass. Oh wait,
You ditch
it's a 2K backup. Hey, Symphogear finally got 2K backup.
It's generic. You probably play like a copy or two depending on how much you need to board at level 1.
Yeah.
It's also.
I
it's
don't think
Kanade
I've ever
Tsubasa,
not put this
so-
card in a deck.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
I
It's
even play this in my Hibiki deck.
It's just so generic. Like if you want to back up, like it's hard to go wrong with like generic costless 2K counters these days.
And
They're just really
it has
good cards.
Tsubasa on it, so it goes into like it slots into that deck easier.
Fun
for whatever
fact, this
points that
is
might be
strictly better than the old Tsubasa Kanade counter
Okay,
promo.
I don't know how curious. Is it +1 level for your level or +1 level on the character you're bouncing back?
What?
Or the change event? I can't
No,
remember how it
it's
You needed level
no,
2 or higher Tsubasa.
you just you just bounce a level 2 or higher to your hand, and you play like any.
okay.
of that
I just wanted to
character
make
from
sure because I don't know if it was like the Saber like event that you.
No,
add
it's
levels.
not weirdly specific. 10 no Gekiren power Tsubasa. This gets oh my goodness. This gets -1 level while on the stage. Climax combo. When the battle opponent this becomes reversed. If 10 no Gekiren is in your climax zone, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your library and search for up to 1 character with either Tsubasa or Kanade in name, or reveal it, put it into your hand, put the rest in waiting room, choose one of your characters, and that character gains 2k power for the turn.
Booker pants.
Pants. It's
And
practically Minami from
Yeah.
It's
Cinderella.
also clock bondable.
Yeah. The clock bond.
Huh.
Important notes about this card. The clock bond gives it 500 power and +1 level at all
Nice.
times. So this will be a level 1 regardless. The way it works out math-wise with the climax is even though Minami gets power on climax play, if you have the clock bonder in this out, both Minami and this would be 7k before additional assists. So it's a lot like playing Minami if you've ever played Cinderella Girls, I guess.
Except she's clock bondable.
Yeah, no, but like just power on board and how everything maths out. Like 9k, like 7k, 9k, 9k, or 7k, 7k, 11k if you have 3. And
Yeah, if you need to get over.
yeah, so reaches very similar power thresholds to Minami because this has 1k more power and has a dedicated assist for it that will
this
put it
card
at
seems
7k.
really good. Like it's pretty conditionless and it's clock bondable and
Yeah,
good climax.
The -1 level is actually just.
Well, -1 level literally added 500 power to the body, which was totally reasonable here when your clock bond
I mean,
compensates for
even
that
like
issue.
this is it's like less of a detriment to play this card late game too, as like a sandbag card.
Yeah.
Because the plus, like, it's just level
Losing
0.
level at
You
level
can't
3
side it.
is actually relevant, yes.
Yeah, it's a good card.
I mean, you're not going to
Well-
come into many situations where it is both level 0 and like you're not just ramming it. Like
This is true. But like
That's
it
true.
can pop up depending if you manage to clear the board on defense.
no, because the supports you play in Symphogear give level anyway, not even counting the clock bond. So this card isn't even like unusable.
I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, you're gonna have
change.
lanes where it isn't covered.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure, but
If like a mid game combo isn't out of the question.
sure, but that's the same corner case argument you use for like the 3/5s that might come into play rested. Like
Yeah.
you're probably.
I mean,
gonna
but
have
you
somebody
guys,
else
but we
around.
mentioned that all the same. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
we
something
do.
to talk
That's
about.
Like it's not good, but I think overall the fact it gives 500 power and the fact that it's mostly negligible throughout the game is also something we should be mentioning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
giving it like a good rating. Like this is one of the better.
Good is a bit. This like
I
good
feel like as
minus.
far as like level 1 combos are concerned, this is probably your best option in most situations for
How
this
how
specific
big
version of the deck.
does it get? Like how big
7K,
does the
9K,
first one
10K.
get?
7K
It's
to
one support.
a little bit more, like
It's
7K to
then,
7.5.
I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Minami unless my opponent is playing into it badly. But no, I can see how this would be. Like this is fine. Like you probably get at least two, reasonable consistency.
Yeah, and that's good
And
enough for me.
I have played a ton of games where I never get the pants, and I still end up transitioning well because this is like big enough to kill stuff.
Like 6K and just murder something usually.
Yeah. So
And with
it's
the 2K
nice to
with the 2K
like
counter,
I've
you can
oh.
also beat over 7K offense reverse combos as well. So like you'll have that going for you too.
But that definitely makes me feel secure about the deck. Like the number of games I've whiffed my combo and transitioned into 2 well enough, and then so like maybe this combo isn't good, but like playable plus maybe for me. I don't know.
Sure.
It's like
Is this the optimal combo in Alchemists?
yeah, mill
Nice,
4,
nice,
grab
nice
nothing.
try, dude.
You can grab a blue card.
No, you
What
can grab
what
specifically
no
Tsubasa,
Tsubasa or
Kanade.
Kanade?
Oh, I'm looking at
No,
completely
Penmin
the
isn't
wrong.
good. I think this
I'm
combo's
looking at
good.
completely the wrong card. Never mind.
Combo's good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, never mind. I was looking at the wrong card.
Tsubasa or Kanade. So like there is a deck building restriction here. It doesn't grab like your events, I guess, but whatever. That's like enough hits in the deck that
Well, it can grab bonds to your events.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's good enough.
Um,
And again,
yeah,
you also
what-
have
what
pseudo
usually
Asusa in the
happens-
deck as well, so you can even turn like less than stellar hits into better cards. Like having those kind of effects makes
Oh,
the kind of
yeah.
restrictive pluses much better.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, it's a deck with an
the best
Azusa,
part of the,
so-
this card is like really good because it's clock bondable. That's like probably the
Yeah,
final.
also clock bondable plussing
I would-
combos
I would
are
give it.
pretty sick.
That's what puts me at good for this card.
Yeah, I don't know.
Clock bonds are good.
But the thing about this card ends up being though, I'm not in love with this card. I'm in love with its clock bond. So I don't know. Rating is dubious and subjective.
Okay, let's
next
move on to the
card.
next card.
Furin Kazan, Power, Tsubasa. Editor,
thighs are
splice
huge.
in a clip of Bang Shishigami from Blaze Blue.
That's exactly what I was thinking, actually.
When this is placed from hand to stage, put the top 2 cards of your library. Wait. Put the top 2 cards of your library and put them in the waiting room.
Yep.
And this gains plus X power for the turn. X equals number of characters that are either blue or music among them. Climax combo. When your opponent levels up, if Furin Kazan is in your climax zone, look at the top 4 cards from your library and search for up to 1 character that is either blue or music. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and put the rest in the waiting room.
Furin Kazan
Why
is
are
a
you
2-soul.
saying it like that?
Stock soul.
It's a stock soul.
I wish it was a 2-soul. I'd like
man.
it more if it was a 2-soul.
Man, them pushing like level 0 combos. There's like a few level 0 combos they're trying to push in this set
there's
actually.
the Hibiki one and this one.
And the Chris, technically.
They'll hit on something. One of these combos
as
will
it
be
stands,
so good.
this card is fine if you want to, as like I guess a generic beater, but like that feels so weak. I mean, it mills 2 at least, but the combo is garbage.
Tsubasa has
Dang,
a 4K
imagine if this could get
already.
blue cards.
If you could get blue cards, then we're talking about something completely different now.
Man, that'd be so cool. But I don't know if you'd want your other climax slot to be this. At least in like my deck. Maybe that would be a different deck then.
It would be a different
But
deck.
this-
You would be going in on the level 0 combo.
Like this deck is also this card's interesting. Like the distinction of blue or music, so it's kind of more open-ended than just applying it to my deck. I guess this is most comparable to like the thing from Puyo Puyo.
Yes, but the thing from Puyo Puyo comboed with what? Wind Trigger or 2-soul?
Yeah, and they played the wind, but Puyo Puyo played like a double combo game anyway. Like correct me if I'm wrong. I never actually got to play Puyo Puyo, but you're
I mean,
supposed to
play
like
whichever combo you drew, basically.
yeah, but like you're like the nuts would be like you level first, you play Amities,
They don't die.
you level them with your combo, and then they have to attack into your bombs, and then you Maguro and you get to like mill 4 combo.
Kinda.
It also helped
well,
that
you
like
can-
it didn't cost you anything to play the Amity combo, anyways. Really.
Yeah, because it was
Well,
the
I mean,
climax
besides
for
playing
your
4 bombs, which may be excessive, but whatever.
well, if
I
you
mean-
stack your deck like that, then sure, but it's not realistic for that to happen.
I think most of the time you just went for Magro, and then
Yeah, you
sometimes
just go
if
for
you
Magro
got unlucky with getting Magro, you just
You
play
just slam
Amities.
Amity. It was like, it's
Sure.
fine.
Sure. I was just sort of presenting a nut draw or whatever.
But this doesn't
I
like
don't-
facilitate the reason why like the Amity was playable in the deck for that reason anyway. So it was just like
Because
It
like
didn't-
Amity
If this
shared a
comboed with
combo.
like, if this didn't take climax space, like if this was just like a throw in, yeah, I could see you playing. Like if this was a climax running for another reason other than this combo, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But,
because that was like
Sense.
Amity's strength in the first place, right?
yeah.
so.
All right, next card.
It's a mill 2 beater. Japan loves that.
Japan does love that.
Hayate no Isen technique. Tsubasa. 1-0, 4/5 power. When this is placed God, this card. When this is placed from hand to stage, if you have another music character, this gains 2k power for the turn.
Technique.
A. Discard a music character card from your hand to the waiting room. During the turn, this is placed from hand to stage. When the battle of opponent of this becomes reversed, you may pay cost. If so, search your library for up to 1 Ame no Habakiri, reveal it, put it into your hand. Afterwards, shuffle your library, choose one of your other characters. That character gains 3k power till end of turn.
This
Holy
person's pretty
shit.
Good.
I didn't realize there was Stitch a music character.
Yeah, that's a sad thing
Oh,
about
wait,
this
it
card.
says when this
Oh.
becomes. Oh, never mind. I thought it was a total come and play effect. Never mind.
This is. I thought this is cool when I first saw this card, but like, it's kind of weird, kind of awkward.
This card never really played out the way I thought it would play out when using it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea was to turn your Minami plus into an Ame no Habakiri, but like, the power pump is really good for Minami too. So, and you'd rather just field Minamis instead of this most of the time.
Yeah, and in the times where this is good, in the what is probably a small percentage, honestly, in that number of times that this is good, for your Minami, like it guarantees your Minami, like your 2 Minamis reverse stuff, because like it'll pump one and that
Right.
one will pump the other. If you don't have Ame no Habakiri in deck, you're just like
Oh God.
ditching cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Originally I was playing like a bunch of this because it was my way of getting the change events to try to set up like my level 2. But I eventually just changed it to the bonder, because playing the deck in a way where you just need one bonder, one event, or like one event in waiting room and a bonder, instead of trying to get a bunch of the events in hand before level 2, just ended up being better. Like you were paying stock to bond for the events, but it was just like easier hand construction, and this card is like kind of whatever after playing it.
Yeah, this card is by definition niche, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this card definitely had the potential to be like insane. I don't know.
It's turned out
I
that
wish
you-
this
you'd
card was
rather
better.
I mean, I thought it was a really nice filler beater, but like, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, then we just cut everything for bonders. Whoops. Plussing wins again.
That bond is still busted. Let's go to the next card.
Rasetsu Zero no Kata.
She's like a
Knowledge. Tsubasa.
holy.
Recollection. If Ignite module is in your memory, this gains the following ability. If you have 2 or more other music characters, this gains 4,500 power. If not, this gains minus 1,500 power. When this is placed from hand to stage, search your library for up to 1. No need for sword, Tsubasa. Put it in the waiting room and shuffle your library.
What does no need for Tsubasa do?
Early
It's
play.
it- it's
so
an early play if
early
you have
play
two
if
or
you have.
two or
yeah.
more in waiting room.
Oh,
This
So-
is not
yeah, that seems terrible.
very good.
I mean, this is not good in. This is just not a good card.
No, it's foolish
that
burials.
card is hard to use because that card is also an Ignite module card. But if you're playing this card and that card, then of course you're playing Ignite modules.
But foolish burial, dude.
This seems
It's okay.
bad
No.
too, though.
Yeah, like if you're playing Ignite modules, Tsubasa early play shouldn't be your payoff. I don't think that's that good. It's an 11k. It's an 11k draw step 4k for
Yeah, that
those who
seems
do not know.
Great.
But I do like what they were trying with this whole set of Ignite module things, which I think I mentioned before, how they more or less help you change into quote unquote change or like set up early plays for the Ignite module cards without having to run an Ignite module package and a change event package.
The art is nice though.
So it happens. Oh hey, bonds are OP, right?
Please tell me it's a vanilla again.
Battle Prelude, Tsubasa and Chris. All your other Queen's Inferno Heart Chris gain 1k power. Bond.
Please tell me it's a
Queen's
0-0
Inferno Heart Chris.
vanilla.
Nah,
No, it's a 1-2
1-2
vanilla.
vanilla,
Oh my God.
dude. Oh,
So it's like
baby.
1/2 7k 2 soul.
No.
Oh,
It's a 1-2 8-5 soul.
That's garbage.
No,
it has
dude,
the
it's
trigger.
9-5.
It's pretty bad.
If it was 7k 2 soul, it wouldn't be terrible.
I
It would
think
still be bad.
I
but it
think
wouldn't
it's
be
7-5
terrible.
2 soul.
That's fine. I just want a 2 soul beater.
Sure.
It's okay.
Whatever. This is bad.
Time. Next time.
But bonds are OP.
I mean, this is like a little bit better than some of the other bonds because this one doesn't just bond to a straight vanilla. Like
I mean,
0-0.
Wait, but it
does.
does. Oh, you mean like a 0-0 no?
He means like the Shirabe.
Oh my god.
Or the Miku.
Kage Nue. Knowledge. Tsubasa. All of your other music characters gain 500 power. Rest 2 of your music characters. Choose a card in your level zone and a card in your waiting room. Swap them.
So let's
Level
say-
So,
swap.
I know what you guys are thinking. I know what you guys are thinking. Yes, Milky Holmes is a very strong deck with a very strong set of cards. But if you were playing this in your Symphogear deck, I beg you, do not put your climaxes in your level zone. You may see the Milky Home player do that.
But the
But
Milky
you
Home
can't really
player doesn't
afford to
level
do
on
that.
it.
Well, they can. They often do. I've seen it.
But you don't have to.
No, but you can.
They also
Wow.
play like more than 4 ways max to like mess with their level zone. Anyway.
No, usually like 5 or 6.
That's
plus
more
So
than
the-
this,
4.
so this card is like for the Kanade because the Kanade plays a
The
level 3 from your
Kanade-
level zone.
Yeah, the way that the Kanade works is it will play it plays the 3-2 Tsubasa directly from your level zone. So if you are unable to level the Tsubasa normally, this is a way to account for that or to like cover your tracks or whatever. I don't like this card though at all. Like even in context of that deck, it's something you probably have to play for the number of games where you can't just naturally get the like experience. But I don't like the rest too.
Yeah. You can't brainstorm that turn.
I'm gonna give
And
it
Milky
a
Holmes-
minus.
Milky Holmes has the benefit with
Of
their
the
like,
LE.
resting,
Yeah.
because the LE like that's how they plus anyway.
Yeah. And you can do it both turns.
Never forget 103k counter.
You can you can listen to us talk about all these beautiful Milky Home cards in our Milky Holmes movie booster set review. Like, comment, subscribe.
Why are you shilling? What? Why?
Why would
He's
we
shilling
show
for
our
the
chat?
channel, though.
TCG.com/user/UA paying 420
Does he
for
have
a
TCG
sweet
player
sale.
account?
I have no idea. Owl no Isen,
Facebook?
Dexterity, Tsubasa, 0-0-1500. When this direct attacks, choose one of your other characters and that character gains 1500 power for turn. Pay 1 during your opponent's turn. When this becomes reversed in battle, you may pay cost. If so, rest it, and at the start of your next encore step, put this in waiting room.
This seems terrible. Am I wrong for thinking that? Like,
I
It's
don't
not-
think you are. I think that it could fulfill some roles. It is a pay 1 plus. The direct attack 1500 could be nice for your Minamis. My gripe with this card is so I watched the stream, the Bushiroad stream, where Matsui played Zweiwing before Symphogear was out. And like before even all the spoilers are out, I was trying to like scope out any spicy nuggets that had yet to be spoiled. And he ran this card, but he never played it in the game. So it never showed up on screen. And then at the end of the match, he like pulls it out of his deck and he basically tells the camera. He doesn't say what the card does really. He kind of like implies what it does. But then he's like, I'm really sad I didn't draw this card. I was really excited to try it out. So I was just disappointed with what it actually was, because this is a card like I don't really want to run ever.
But Matsui, ha.
Yeah, right. Oh man, this card is sweet.
Uh-oh.
Little Tutor, Kirika, and Elf 9. Elf 9's cheating on Shirabe with Kirika. What? All your other characters with either music or alchemy gain 500 power. During your opponent's turn, all your other Elf 9, girl who looks like Carol, gain 2k power.
It's a 2.
Yeah, it's a 2185 vanilla.
That's terrible.
Or vanilla synergies. Look at all these slots they used on my beautiful set, the set that was supposed to save Symphogear.
There's so many. It's insane how many vanillas they put into the set. Like, it's actually outrageous. And
they kind of just like doubled the vanilla count by making vanilla support.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Funny.
It's so bad. This is so
I mean,
bad.
like, I feel like they think it's better to print all these vanillas and have these like weird supports than just to print vanillas and be lazy. I don't know.
Dude, it's for popper format.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Genjuro, Tsubasa's uncle. This card has Tsubasa in name.
Yes, it does.
2/1. Assist. All your characters in front gain 1k power. Pay 2, rest this. Search your library for up to 1 music character. Reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library.
Frontal 1000 is pretty weak. This is off trait.
This is like the least...
Trait doesn't matter for the Tsubasa deck.
I'm not.
Why is this so
denying that.
generic?
And I remember bringing
Well, it
that
doesn't
up
matter.
last time we did Symphogear.
It checks Tsubasa name. It's got that in the name.
Yeah.
But why? Like how much more generic could a 2/1 support be? This is like this makes my head hurt.
It could be level of support. That's like more generic than Frontal 1000, I think.
Yeah, but it has to be better, which is like another thing I think they were gunning for.
yeah, this was almost. It's almost a double R for Madoka.
This is a card that Matsui did play in his match. And when I saw what the card was and I took a screenshot of it and I asked someone to translate it, I was very upset.
Matsui, lol.
But I kind of understand it, because for the most part, those decks seem to be built of new set cards anyway. So
Yeah,
not a lot of
clearly
options.
stipulation.
They're trying to sell stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So
Here's vanilla.
I'm not going to hold that against Matsui. He's selling a product, right?
Anyway.
Shill.
Vanilla. Oh man, this card's so cool. It's got like 100 lines of text. This is another card he didn't play, and I was like really upset because I was hoping it'd be cool. The 2 wings play songs again. If you don't have a music character, you cannot play this from your hand. You may choose a card in your level zone and a card in your waiting room and swap them. Choose a character in your waiting room, return to hand. Choose one of your characters. That character gets 1 level and 1k power for turn.
That's a lot of text.
This would have been. You didn't even play this card in like
No.
the Kanane deck even even when we thought it might have been worthwhile. We didn't. This was never in consideration. So
Well, why'd you play this when Ignite module's a thing, right? This like has some additional
that and like
text, but I don't think any of them are good enough.
Like,
Yeah.
I think the real draw to this card is.
I think the +1 level is actually probably the.
Well, so it does like 3 different things, right? And like the level swap matters for the getting the Zweiwing combo off, and
Sure.
that's it. There's like no other experience thing I can think of in Symphogear. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
I don't think there is anything there.
And that was not a challenge. That was me inviting someone who knows more about me to correct me. Choose a character. The like salvage is whatever, and then the +1 level +1 power is like a relevant thing for change events, but like playing one event to set up your other event is really weird.
That sounds like a lot of work for.
This isn't even
a lot of payoff.
bondable. Even
It's not
like,
bondable,
You
and
have to draw
like,
this.
that's a lot of events you're playing in a deck with 2 mill runners.
Yeah.
This event just didn't do enough
I'm gonna say
outside
this
of a
card
very
probably seems
specific
bad.
application.
Even when you're like using
Yeah.
it to set up things, like you're spending an extra card and extra stock for super minimal. Well, I guess you're.
It's not an
still
extra card.
salvaging, but like
It makes up for itself, but it's like
it still feels like it's
Yeah,
super
but it's like-
minimal
the
value.
use case is so specific.
I don't know. It's not very good.
Anyways, I read
And-
this next card, and then I looked at the cost, and I got very sad.
3/7 lady's taste.
Oh, dude.
The taste of a lady.
Yeah, miso.
English flavor text. Tsubasa. I used a lot of premium miso, so it shouldn't taste bad.
Okay, so can I
Choose
just
up
want
to
I just
2
want
of
to
your
get this.
characters, and they
Go on.
gain. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's characters. They gain +7 soul and the following ability for turn.
They
This
can't
card
attack
cannot
next.
side attack.
Why is this 7 stock?
I don't know.
How
This
much
should have
is the
been-
one from
It's like-
Lucky Star?
Could we have just made this
3.
playable?
It's a
honestly.
3/3 event, I think.
Would have been that bad if the Tsubasa deck got like
So
a playable
I guess,
version of
I
this
guess the
effect?
reason why they're calling it 7 stock is that it's technically 2 of those effects in one card, so you're paying the extra stock to save on the card.
Then just limit it
I
to
mean,
one
the
character.
Lucky Star one is like 6 stock, right?
I thought
Or
it was
6 soul.
it's 6 soul, and I think it's a 3/3 event.
Yeah. So you give +14 soul for
Oh,
7 stock.
oh, value.
But the Milky Hole
is
one,
that
or
value?
The Lucky
I
Star
can't
one you
tell.
can also use on your own characters in your main phase, I think, and then side attack.
A premium cost for premium miso.
Jesus. Yeah, this card is
This card is bad.
it's a meme.
I'll give it a dank meme rating.
There's also like that obviously the idea of this card is you make something like a 10 soul and then you cancel, but like
Sometimes you don't.
maybe you don't cancel. I've
That
seen it.
doesn't. Oh my.
I have seen it
I've seen
happen
it.
with
I've
the Lucky
seen it.
Star card.
Okay.
Okay, I bet you can guess who used the Lucky Star card and lost because of it.
Your opponent.
No.
You.
I bet you know which player from my locals did it. Just
Was
by
it Nick Nicken?
No, I don't want to give out names on the cast. I'll tell you when we switch to red, which should be like right now.
Yeah, this card is.
Yeah, pretty much.
way
I just
over.
want to air this because it's been bothering me, but ever since someone said miso, all I can think of is Jar Jar Binks, and he's just doomed to
No.
haunt this
No.
100
cast.
mega shock is just 2 stock, by the way.
Is it 2 stock? Wow, that's so
yeah,
much
it's just
better.
2 stock.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, right? Why
Um,
so much
They should've
worse?
been
okay,
5
first
stock.
of all, Jar Jar Binks says Misa, not miso.
We're not.
Miso
okay,
is
let's-
like
PTSD to the Charlotte cast. Please.
Yusa Misa Jar Jar Binks. Yes.
Not
That was
relive
definitely-
this.
That was definitely a thing that
Okay.
happened in Charlotte, and I forgot. Why.
Anyway,
I don't remember why it came up either.
because Yusa Misa, those are the characters' names, and
Oh, that's
the whole
right.
time I was waiting, I was like, I just wanted to say Yusa Misa Jar Jar Binks.
All right, we'll be right back with Red.